Hi YouTube. Today we're back again. So last time we looked at lungs, which is a little bit of a rare food compared to this one. We're going to look at tongue today. So we have a cow's tongue. You'll see that they cut from the bottom where it attaches to the lower part of the jaw. And we have the regular tongue. So here's the top in the mouth portion. You can see that it's, well, maybe you can't tell that it's quite rough. If I go over this, you can see where someone originally cut a little hole in it. And you can see it's quite thick and rough, this outer layer of skin. It's edible, but it's high protein, that portion, and it's not the best. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook it. And after we cook it, we'll be able to remove this skin very easily. It's going to separate from the rest of the tongue. The nutrient profile of the tongue is very much the same as ribeye. So tongue is about 70% fat and about 30%, give or take, protein. So it's really fatty, really good, just like ribeye. A lot of fat in it, so it tastes delicious if it's cooked properly. Now, it's a tough meat, so we're going to cook it longer. So I like to have my ribeyes uncooked, essentially, except on the outside. I'm going to put this in a bit of water. If we just take a look inside here, we'll see that I put a fair amount of water, which I'll leave to boil and cook it in, reheat it when I'm done. This is 2 pounds. So I'm only going to have a quarter of this probably with my meal tonight. Again, my favorite cooking mechanism, if you have one option, sous vide, of course, is great, but I don't have a sous vide, and this is just as good, really. I'm going to do pressure cooking again for, I think, 45 minutes for this one. So we're going to do 45-minute pressure cook, and we'll come back in 45 minutes. We'll take a look. We'll cut off the skin and feed it to the big dog down there, and the rest of it we'll eat. So we'll see you in 45 minutes. Okay, we're back. I have a cooked tongue. I did 45 minutes in an Instapot, and you'll see that it's very moist. It's now, well, you can't really feel it, but it's softer. But we still have this outer layer of skin on the tongue. So I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to give it to the dog, and he's going to love it. So here, before I even start, just to make my life easy, I'm going to cut this right kind of down the middle here. There we go. And that's going to allow me to really get in here and get this hard skin off. We'll also be able to see the inside of the tongue. And it's very soft, very, very squishy. Okay, so how am I going to get the skin off? Well, it should just peel right off, essentially. Now, if it doesn't, you can cut it a little bit. And I'm not too worried because I'm going to give this to my dog if I cut a little extra off. But you'll see that it's just, well, it's actually stuck a little bit more than usual. Usually it just kind of peels off. Maybe because I didn't cook it quite as long as I sometimes do. I sometimes cook it a little longer. But I'm just going to cut this off then. And a little bit of meat on there, but that's okay. That's just going to go to the dog. Like I say, he's going to love this. And that's it. Once I take off all this outer hard skin from the tongue, which, as I said, very high in protein. Yeah, this one's sticking a lot more than I'm used to. Usually it comes off a lot easier, actually. So that's okay. I'm going to actually cut this off then instead of just peeling it. Usually it just peels off. And you'll see my big guy right here, and he'll just love this. There he goes. He'll eat that. I'll put the rest in his bowl. He'll finish that off, no problem. Oh, now it's peeling off. There we go. And it really does. Normally it does just peel off. Now there is a thin layer of something. If you take a close up here, you'll see that it has a little bit of a pattern there. And that's just, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You can absolutely eat it. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, underneath though, you'll see that the meat is a little bit, you know, it doesn't have that little bit of extra there. So if you want to cut that off, you can. It doesn't really matter. I wouldn't normally cut it off if I didn't have a dog, but because I have a dog who loves it, I don't mind giving him just a little bit extra of this and getting that layer off. Now, in terms of the rest of this, you'll see that it doesn't look very fatty. See a little bit of fat in there, but it doesn't look super fatty. So you'd be surprised maybe to find out that it's 70% fat, but it really is. And the taste, you can really taste the fat. It's delicious. Now, let me see if I can pull that off on its own. If not, oof, super hot. Super hot. I'm gonna have to cut it off, it looks like. It's just too hot to use my fingers. We'll take that skin off then for the dog as well. There we go. Perfect. And like I said, he's really going to love this. Nothing else to the tongue, really. Like I say, one of the best tasting meats you're going to have. It's just, I've had mine called Divine, or my wife's actually have been called Divine when I've taken it to parties and had shared it with people. If you really want, of course, you can add some vegetables or some spices or whatever else you want. As I think I mentioned before, I don't add anything to mine. I like it just the way it is. I think it tastes delicious without adding not even salt. Anyway, great. So all of this is going to the dog, and it's mostly, you can really see just how like kind of firm and hard that is. It's, I don't know any person who would probably enjoy that. They might, but I don't know anyone offhand. But like I said, the dog just loves that, so I'm just going to chop that up, put it in his bowl. And it's even hard to cut sometimes because it's so rubbery. Right? Even getting through it can be a little bit tough sometimes. But if you don't have a dog, you know, I guess maybe you'll just toss this. Depends what you want to do. The rest of this, delicious. As I said, this was 2 pounds, so this is obviously a little bit bigger. That's about half or about a pound each. I think I'm going to have this much right now tonight. I'm going to have this much right now. And if I'm still hungry after that, I might have the rest. But very simple, easy, delicious. That's the tongue. Let me know what organs you want me to do next week. Bye for now.